Feeling good, feeling good, feeling great, feeling great, feeling good.
Feeling better.
Feeling good, feeling great. Welcome back. It's a Man Up Monday here in the sack.
That was a mercurial Monday.
It was kind of mercurial.
It was, yeah.
It was. He's right. It was.
Didn't enjoy it.
No, neither did I. I'm glad it's over. And I'm glad actually we're ending on a high note because I get to hang out with my boy and talk sports.
A literal high note.
Yeah, little high note. Little high note, yes. That is the redoubtable himself, Thomas J. Is a high question, 100 million lecture. This is IDD. For those of you know, I don't disagree. We are back on a Man Up Monday, segment 1, all things Donkey of the Decade, Steve Kerr / Why Does the World Hate Jayson Tatum? I want to let Tom go first at this. Because and I don't know when it first dawned on you what was happening, but we were watching this game, and you've heard of this by now about how Tatum did not play against Serbia, and they won anyway, and they were going to win. That's not the point. They were going to win, okay? And I've been saying this to Joel. They were going to win. In fact, this proved my point more than anything, because arguably the best basketball player in the world didn't play a minute, and they beat Serbia by 26 points. Yeah. And if they're the third best team in the world, and that dude didn't play a minute, the world's in trouble. Okay.
I believe you could take any player off this team, and they'd
still win it.
Anybody who went crazy last game,
Yep.
you could sit the entire game,
Yep.
and they'd still win.
Yep.
By 20.
They would, because those guys will just go crazy.
Exactly.
They don't have a bench. They have 10, 12 starters, is what they have.
That's right.
So, if we're being honest. But anyway, I want Tom to go first, because otherwise he's not going to get another word in. Because I'm beyond pissed at this. But he is too. And I think he has he's a Tatum fan, I think, but at least he knows how great he is.
I'm a Tatum fan,
and so I want him to. He noticed it. Probably the first one I talked to that noticed it. So what was going through your head as they got in the third quarter, and you're like, they're really not playing him. And then the fourth, like, what the fuck is going on?
No, so
is he hurt? It's like, what the fuck?
So I can't remember what a couple of my friends were golfing here in Magnolia Green.
Okay.
And they finished right at 11 as the game was starting.
Okay.
So I watched the start of it. And that's where I texted you and I was like, he didn't listen to you.
Nope.
And he had a great opportunity because apparently KD wasn't fully healthy. That's why he didn't start.
Yep.
Although he looked plenty healthy. But he had the perfect opportunity to do what you had said.
There's no D in Serbia, but I digress. Go on.
There's no D in Serbia.
They don't play any defense at all.
Oh.
They don't. That was a perfect game for KD to come back.
No, so I just say that to say I watched most of the game at the grill.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened that made me hate golf even more.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Wait, you were in the 19th hole? That's the one time you like golf, and you still hate golf? All right.
I didn't golf.
Okay.
I met my friends who had golfed.
Ah. So you were drinking, having a few cocktails?
I texted. No, I had one beer, and I had some wings. But I texted them, and I said, hey, is the game on? He said, yeah. So I said, all right, I'll come on. Because I wanted to watch the game.
Yeah.
Halfway through the game, these guys come in from golfing, and they turn because there was a tournament there on Sunday. They turned every TV in the place to golf.
What?
Well, the men's U.S. basketball team was playing in the Olympics.
What?
And I was like,
wow.
Okay, this makes me hate golf even more.
Actually, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. And
that would make me hate golf more.
And I had all these assumptions running through my head about why they would turn off basketball and all this. But let's not get into that.
Yeah, anyway, back to
the story at hand.
Tatum getting hosed.
So I don't know. I don't see the hate for Jayson Tatum. This weekend, I started to see it on Twitter for some reason. But talk about a likable superstar who, if you watch any game objectively, he's, I would say 90% of the games I watch, he's absolutely the best player on the floor. 90% of his games. Maybe that's an overestimate.
No, I think you're underestimating.
Okay, maybe that's 95. Maybe that's an under.
Yeah, it's more. It's more.
He seems like a good dad, a good teammate, far from a prick. But yeah, I saw some stupid shit on Twitter about, Jayson Tatum fans, want us to believe he's the best player in the world, but he can't even play on the Olympic team, which was horse shit.
What donkey said that?
I don't know. I don't even know their name. They were just somebody on Twitter.
It's a good thing I didn't see that.
But then I started seeing a Celtics fan defending and going, why does the world hate Jayson Tatum? I also saw a couple posts of Tatum sitting there looking like he wanted to punch a hole in the wall. saying, "Oh, we're next year is not going to be a trap year." He is going to set the world on fire, which would be fun
and would be justice given what just happened to him. To your point, I want to cut you up, but I wanted to.
No, I really don't have that much to say. I know you really want to blow up.
But here's the thing. This is the thing about the guy he's talking about. No drama, no allegations. Goes home at night and chills after games with his kid. Good teammate, doesn't talk trash. All of which is true.
Yeah.
All of which is true. So
does the old school hate him, or does the new school hate him?
As a card-carrying member of the old school generation, it was never hate. It was all about he's underachieving because we know how talented he is. Until this year.
People still think that?
No, not now. Because he did something that many people didn't think he had in him. At least not Celtics fans, because they hadn't really seen it yet. But it was really going on all along. But this year he put his stamp on it. Jayson Tatum made the single biggest sacrifice of any superstar this year in this league. He literally swallowed every chance at any individual accolade by just subverting to these other four guys and letting them be them and letting them play, and he played off them. And this is why I said he's playing more like Larry Bird than ever before. Larry Bird was so good and so smart, he could play off the ball, off his teammates. Until this year, I didn't know if Jayson Tatum would ever get that smart, but he did.
Well, it seems like the perfect fit for an Olympic team.
One would think.
Considering that you have all these guys who refuse to do shit like that, or who struggle to do it. I think some of them want to do it and don't know how. Because it's not easy to change your game and focus on passing or rebounding.
I can think of two other guys on that roster that I know did it, and their names are Jrue Holiday and Derek White.
Yeah, that's true.
Because those two are all-stars, and they haven't because they play with Tatum and Brown. But if they were on other teams the way they've been playing, they'd be on the All-Star team. But yet doesn't matter. And by the way, the Celtics realized that and rewarded them both with contracts, which was the right thing to do. Okay? Having said
that's really all that matters.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
As much as we're going to talk about this,
yep.
As long as the organization knows what the fuck is up.
Well, the world's going to know when they repeat because this is pissing. I mean, Tom's 100% right. If you think that fucking Brad Stevens and fucking Missoula aren't eating this up right now and just there's going to be plastered all over the fucking blackboard in preseason. Okay, why is Jrue Holiday and Derek White White doesn't even belong there? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Jaylen Brown hates his teammates. Oh my, no, he doesn't. He called Holiday and Derek White and told him he loves him and go get it. Because Jaylen Tate Brown also gets it. Okay, and he knows how much Tatum has sacrificed. Here's the thing: do you know how fucking good you've got to be able to play off the ball and average 27, 8, and 5? I can think of one man, Larry Bird, that I consistently saw do that for his career. I've seen Tatum do it for 1 year. So he's nowhere near Bird yet. But the fact that he did it once means he could do it again. Truth be told, though, given what's happening, I don't know that I want him to. I want him to go scorched fucking earth next year because I know, and we've said this on one occasion, he is the best one-on-one basketball player in the world. And I keep saying it, and maybe Tom's right. Well, that's just not who he is. I would just love for once to see him truly get pissed off. Yeah. I would just once love to see it.
I can see that.
I would love to see it because I'd love to see what he would do if he just said, fuck all of you.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
I think he did show some anger in the finals. He had some moments where you could see it.
Games 3 and 5, he was the best player on the court.
Yeah.
You could talk about Jaylen Brown. He was deserving of those awards, but look at what Tatum did in that series. I said Jaylen Brown's defense and Jayson Tatum's passing won that series.
Yeah.
And it takes an incredible superstar, 31 points and 11 assists in the closeout game, in the finals. You know how many people have done that in the history of this game? 31 and 11 in the. Do you know how many guys have done that? I don't know if Magic's done it. Okay, and he's a point guard. And if he has, he'd be the only one. Okay, that's what he did. And no one, he's not shooting well. Every time Jayson Tatum put the ball on the floor, the Mavericks sent at least one defender at him, in a lot of cases two. And he recognized it, he made the right read, and his assist-to-turnover ratio was off the charts. It was literally night and day from 2 years ago when he coughed it up to Golden State. It was a totally different basketball player. It was an evolved player who's like, I'm so fucking good, I can create whatever shot I want, forever I want, I just have to be willing to do it. And the second he did that, they became unbeatable.
And I mean, if people want to say he wasn't shooting well, Yeah, and he still did that.
He still had 31
Imagine
points.
if he had been shooting well.
I'm saying, yes.
Oh, my God.
So this brings us back
to bring that up as a criticism
yeah,
is kind of short-sighted.
So the thing is, usually the MVP goes to the best player on the best team. That's usually how it works. But now there's the Jayson Tatum factor with this is twice. He could have won the MVP 2 of the last 3 years. He didn't get it. He wasn't even in the top 4 in voting. Okay, so the hate is real. I don't know where it comes from, but I know this. Okay, Steve Kerr. If they end up winning this thing, I'm probably going to send him a thank you letter for being the donkey that he is, because this could be the thing that sends Jayson Tatum over the edge, and then we see the guy that I've always wanted to see. And I'm telling you, that dude's fucking. If that dude ever becomes real, that's a nightmare. That's a fucking nightmare, because at that size, with his speed and his hand-eye coordination and all the things he can do, there is nothing anyone could do. And I've seen glimpses of it against Giannis, against Embiid last year. Okay, I've seen him light guys up that were superstars. Kevin Durant 2 years ago, when he not only did he kick his ass on one end, he stuffed him like a Thanksgiving on the other end. Like you could count on one hand the number of guys
Were
he
you about
blocked.
to say Thanksgiving turkey?
That too. But so Steve Kerr, here's the problem. Steve Kerr, if he had just stuck with, I felt like a fucking idiot, I can't believe I didn't play Jayson Tatum. Okay, I get why. They were up 20. Kevin Durant was on fire. I get it. Okay.
Why, what did he say after that got you?
Because before he said that, he actually, in the same interview, he says that, well, I talked to Jayson before the game and how the matchups may work out.
And told him it might go this way.
It might go this way. Here's the problem with that statement. We just said, and I'm going to prove this to you, that I believe, and he believes, Jayson Tatum is the best one-on-one player in the world. If that is true, say he's the third best one-on-one player in the world, okay? That means that 99% of the matchups in this tournament are going to favor him. Okay? Now, here's the thing.
I'm going to favor him.
Now, here's the thing, and Tom should be giving me credit because I'm not blowing a gasket saying this. It's just monumental. I can't stand stupid. I can't stand it.
I give you a lot of credit.
Let's just go down this list, okay? And I want you to picture each one of these names next to Tatum's name, and just what do you think? Okay? Jokic, can he guard him? Fat and slow? No. Okay. Here's where it gets. See, right after Jokic, it just goes downhill. Okay, now it's Petrosevov. You ever even heard of this fucking?
I'd probably give the nod to
What do you think?
Petrosevov.
Coin flip, but maybe Tatum gets it on the heads?
Actually, yeah. Now that you say that.
Yeah. Dobrik. Who the fuck is that?
60-40 Tatum, maybe?
Yeah. Bogdanovich, who we've seen in the NBA can't guard a chair. Is he guarding Tatum? By the way, that's the second best player on the team.
I like Bogdan.
Okay,
though.
but defensively?
No.
No, never. No. Okay, Aramonovich, what's that? Okay, Jovic, no. Militovov, no. Marinkovic, no. Gurdjuric, no. And Micic.
But see, you got to think about the matchups, though. That's the thing, because there's just certain things in there. Maybe you don't like. There's a lefty. You don't want a lefty guarding him. Maybe there's somebody that's 6'6.5". You don't really like that small guy on him. Maybe you just, you look at the matchups and you think, oh, this isn't going to work out for Tatum.
This is Steve Kerr talking.
That must have. Was he thinking shit like that?
I don't know what he was thinking. The world doesn't know he was thinking. Hell, Kendrick Perkins defended Tatum today. Vehemently, I might add.
Dude,
okay?
Perkins was on Twitter going, get Joel Embiid out of this game.
Oh, awful. He was awful. And the thing is, you could have put here's the thing, and Perkins said it when he was the first. Tim Legler called it an embarrassment. Thank you, Tim Legler, because that was the right word. That was an embarrassment.
He said it was an embarrassment that Tatum
didn't play. It was an embarrassment.
Oh, wow.
He goes, that kid has been, and Kerr, after he says about matchups, in the same interview, he goes, then I feel stupid. I mean, the guy's been All-NBA first team for the past 3 years in a row. So that means he's one of the 5 best players in the world. And yet the matchups didn't favor him?
What was he doing?
No, here's what he was doing. He was trying to cover up for the fact that listen, the whole I am embarrassed stuff is falling on the sword, but listen, Steve Kerr can't be this dumb, but he can, and I've heard him say some things in the past where I could see this happening. Okay.
Is he stubborn?
No, he's petty. He's petty.
Who's he being petty to?
Well, in the spring, if you recall, there was a certain double bum blasting up there in Boston by the tune of 140-88.
No way.
The worst loss of Steph Curry's.
He's sitting him because
the worst loss of Steph Curry's career. Well, Steph's the greatest his greatest Golden State Warrior ever. He just got double bum blasted by 52. Okay, and the best part about that was before the game, Kerr was talking about that game as a measuring stick, and after they got bent over 5 times with no lube, then after the game he goes, "Oh, it's just 1 of 82. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It was this, that," and I'm like, "Wow, what a different tune from 2 hours ago." In the same interview, well, these matchups, I told Jayson and I talked before the game, and how the matchup might work out this way, and then five seconds later, I'm so fucking embarrassed. I can't believe I didn't play him.
Felt like an idiot. Okay.
Dude,
there is no way I will believe that that's what's happening. If that's what's happening, he should be fired.
Do you know how...
That's fireable.
Do you know how insulting it is to real basketball fans, especially Celtic fans, for you to act like we're that stupid? Like you could say the matchup didn't dictate. There was no matchup in that Olympic Games that doesn't favor Jayson Tatum, and that would include his own teammates. There's no one on his own team that can fucking stop him. And I've seen him dunk on LeBron, shit on KD, shit on Embiid, shit on everybody on that fucking team. Devin Booker, all of them. Okay? And there's nobody on that team that can stop Jayson Tatum. Never mind the rest of the fucking world. And he's done it in the playoffs against these guys. So I'm not making it up. The tape is there. The tape don't lie. And he's done it, Tom, while being nice. He's nice. This is what makes it even worse. He's the nicest fucking guy. I can understand a way if the guy's a prick, like a Carmelo Anthony guy like that, who's all about himself and his like that. I can understand. Okay, but this guy, okay, who the image is him picking up his son and hugging him. It makes no sense whatsoever.
But dude, I'm telling you, if I don't believe that what you said is true.
I don't know that it's true. I'm saying, but everything else.
But if that's true, he should be fired.
He should be fired.
Right
on the
there.
spot. Oh, by the way, who's the assistant coach?
Spoelstra. But how can they
Who did he bend over in the first round this year?
How can they dislike the guy?
Because he just embarrassed his fucking greatest player ever, 52 points. And then he takes out Miami in 5.
Jimmy Butler wasn't even there. The year before, Miami beat them.
Doesn't matter. Well, Tatum got hurt in Game 7. Didn't play.
No. I'm just saying. I don't think he's the type of...
Steve Kerr is not the type of what?
No, I don't think Tatum's the... If I competed against Jayson Tatum, as much as I want to win, I couldn't see myself hating the guy.
Look at what Embiid said about him last week.
Because he never does anything dirty.
Nothing.
He doesn't do anything cheap.
No.
He doesn't do anything to embarrass you even when he's kicking your ass. So, like, I could see wanting to beat him, but I could never see leaving and being like, fuck that guy.
He doesn't make you hate him.
No.
Okay, then you hear him talk and you actually
he's just really good.
He's a good kid. Yeah, he happens to be a great basketball player.
I mean, who knows what he truly is as a person? The way he comes across is very decent.
Given how everybody talks about him, that's who he is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
could it be that Steve Kerr just had a massive just shit the pants kind of moment? Shit the bed?
They have 12 starters. The toughest decision he has is divvying up minutes. So that should be the first thing on his fucking mind.
That's a good point.
That's the first fucking thing on his mind. And Halliburton didn't play a second either.
Why are you scared to just have 2 groups or 3 groups?
They're all all-stars. Right. Or defensive player of the years or whatever they are. You don't have one scrub on the roster.
And if you want, you have the starter get the most minutes. But, like, you can still break it down so everybody's getting a chunk.
They had to play Jokic 31 out of 40 minutes, and they lost by 26 points. He was off the court for 9 minutes. It was a plus-minus 26 in just 9 minutes. With him off. That's how I said to Joel, they have an advantage everywhere else. So if he's not out there, they can't even stay with him. And that's with Embiid playing like shit. Embiid was awful. Yeah. He was the worst player on the floor. Everybody fucking knows it. Fucking, there was Kevin Burton. Get him out.
What did he end up with?
4 points and like 3 turnovers, and he was
not healthy.
Defensively, I don't know what he is, but he was useless. Useless. You fucking kid. You think Jayson Tatum couldn't come out? Jayson Tatum blindfolded with diarrhea could have played like that. Unbelievable.
Jayson Tatum, even in his wettest moments,
doesn't look like that.
Doesn't look like that.
No. So this is the thing. Like, and Embiid said what he said about him last week. Why? Oh, I got Jayson Tatum, all these superstars, right? Superstar. Well, before you had those superstars, he whipped your ass. So what do you say to that, donkey dick? Fucking Christ's sake.
What is he talking about?
He's jealous.
Philly has had countless stars.
It's not like, he started out with Ben Simmons, who was an all-star before he flaked out.
Ben Simmons, fucking...
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler,
the beard. Harden.
Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
now Maxey falls in his
Maxey.
lap, and now he's got George. Sure, you've always had enough people around you if you're so fucking good.
Look, okay. Now, if he wants to say, hey, I can't win a championship with that, maybe he has an argument. But he's never been out of the second round. And he has had loads of fucking talent with him.
The Knicks were banged up and you couldn't beat them.
Exactly.
The Knicks were missing at one point 4 of their top 8 players.
Yeah.
And you couldn't beat them.
We had 1 star.
Yeah, 1.
1 star.
You had 2. But again, this goes to the whole hatred of Jayson Tatum thing. I don't get it. I know where it comes from, but I'm telling you right now, he's the best fucking basketball player in the world. I'll have this conversation with anybody who wants to have it. Okay? He sacrificed, the year before he was averaging 31 points a game at 8. He sacrificed everything for that team to win a title. Okay? Which is the true mark of a great teammate. Okay? Most of the guys on that roster with him wouldn't fucking do that. No fucking way. LeBron James has never, ever given side or to rid side to anybody. He never would do it. It's LeBron's way or the highway. He's the poster boy for it. KD, same fucking thing. Okay?
Like Steph Curry will do it.
Steph Curry will do it, and that's why he's got 4 rings.
Because he did it with KD.
Because he did it with KD. Mm-hmm. It was his team, but he yielded because he knew we're better if I do.
Right. You're right, though. There's not a lot of guys.
Not a lot of guys that would do that. Steph Curry would, he did it. Yep, I'll give him that. Absolutely. So, but where Curry loses me, he doesn't play any fucking defense. Tatum, when he wants to play, can shut you down too. Yeah. I mean, he affects both ends of the floor. And here's the thing, and Perkins said it. He's a positionless basketball player, like Bird and Magic and LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, he could have played point. He could have played 2. He could have played 3. He could have played 4. I think he should start at the 4 next to Anthony Davis and put LeBron at the 3 and watch that fucking front line go. Because Tatum's a great defensive rebounder who can hit threes and treat it. He's a better 3-point shooter than LeBron.
No, you nailed it with that lineup.
But if LeBron gets out in the open court and uses his pat and fit it, that's where he's great. So you play them both to their strengths that way.
See, I don't think a lot of people view Tatum like that, the way you just described him.
Because they don't.
Maybe because he's so tall.
They don't know basketball.
But I don't think a lot of people understand that he could play.
He is 6'10", and he's just like Bird and Magic. He can play with better handle. Bird's a better shooter, but he's got a better handle. But the thing is, like, he can play 1 through 5. He can even fucking play the 5 in small ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. This is the thing. So
yeah, he can bang.
Where this is where Steve Kerr pisses me off. Matchups. There isn't a fucking matchup in the world that you could put in front of me right now. I don't care if it's Giannis. I don't care who it is. I'll take Jayson Tatum.
Yeah.
Any one of them.
Yeah.
Right now, any one of them.
Yeah.
None of them could guard him. None of them.
He needs to get real and just tell the truth. If you're not going to play a guy, just explain what happened.
I would rather he said, look, we wanted to get KD reps and play, and Tatum got the night off.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that. Okay, fine.
The matchups.
He embarrassed the kid.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to Jayson Tatum? Why would you do that to Jayson Tatum? Don't give me this brain fart bullshit. With a team like that, the hardest job you got is divvying up minutes, which should have been your first fucking clue.
You're right. You fully pulled me over.
Maybe the best basketball player in the world right now didn't play a single second, and you won by 26 points. And that was with LeBron having 6 turnovers, and Joel Embiid might as well have played for the other team. He was so fucking bad. And you still won by 26 points. Think about that for a second.
Think of all the players that played in front of him.
Yeah.
2 players from his own fucking
Derek
team.
White, Drew Holiday starting over him. Neither one should start over him. I love them both.
Yeah, but
he's better than both of them.
We can start right there with the Celtics, and then you can really go anywhere else too.
Yeah.
Anywhere the fuck else you want to go.
There you go.
Devin Booker.
Yep. LeBron. Yep.
LeBron. Sure.
Right now, yep. All day, every day.
Embiid.
Yep. Yeah, I would. Embiid's I'll tell you right now, he is the most overrated. Joel, you have no defense right now. Don't fucking call me. Don't text in. I'm going to let you dare try and defend that. First he badmouths Tatum, and he goes out and he plays like that. Fuck him. Fuck him. Okay? I was trying to be nice about it, but then he does this and this. I actually try to be diplomatic about it. So let's wait and see.
He starts trying to calm us down about the whole Joel Embiid thing.
A little bit. Not anymore. Because he says what he says about Tatum. He fucking looks like that.
Well, then, yeah, your first text as the game started, Embiid, brick.
Fucking awful.
Clang.
Just clang, clang. Fucking awful. Free
throw one, free throw two.
I had 2 people text me, is Embiid on the take? They thought he was purposely trying to throw it.
For France.
He was so bad. It's like, I don't think he's on the take.
Is he on the take?
Is he on the take? That's also bad. The point is, though, Embiid got what he deserved. He laid an egg. Okay, he's pleased.
If you want to sit somebody for the next game, he doesn't need to play.
He would be an acceptable loss.
He does not need to play. Seriously. Whether it's health or
they
whatever.
got Adebayo, and they can literally
let him sit.
They've got plenty of flexibility on this team. So, but again, there's no way you couldn't have a conga line of that team and beat that team by 20. There's no way.
Dude, and think of
There's no way.
Like you said, think of the minds on that sideline.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra,
Tyronn Lue.
Yeah. They can't.
By the way, the coach for Gonzaga.
Oh, that's right.
He's there too.
So
those 4 fucking guys.
You're telling me those minds
4 fucking
can't
guys
come up with a rotation?
Couldn't figure out that Jayson Tatum should be on the floor already? I mean, you gotta be shitting me. This was like yesterday when Staley was interviewed and said, well, if we had to do it again with the Caitlin Carr thing, we might look at it a little bit differently. I'm like, well, here's the problem with that, Miss Donkey. You're a coach. And part of your job as coach, the reason you recruit kids is because you're thinking about what they could be in 3 or 4 years. Caitlin Clark is the last kid to beat you. Your team, your dynasty in the making. She beat you with a B-level team. You didn't understand it then? That she wasn't a generational talent? Where the fuck is your brain right now? There are 2 girls in the world ranked in the top 6 in 2 categories. A'ja Wilson, MVP, and Caitlin fucking Clark, rookie. And one of them isn't on the Olympic team because she couldn't handle the pressure or couldn't take the physicality.
It's too physical.
Too physical, yeah.
Did you watch that game today?
Against Japan? No, I didn't watch it.
It was not physical.
I'm not watching it at all. I boycotted them. I'm not watching a single game they play because she's not on it. Because she should be on it. And everybody with a brain knows it. And the world wanted to see her. And they fucked this up royally. Yeah. Talk about not knowing how to promote your sport. And the thing is, not only that, she was deserving. It wasn't like you were doing the thing, like Bronny.
She was deserving, but even if you take away all the deservingness,
what she's done for that league,
the eyes on the game, period, was enough. That alone, and the possibility of her being great.
She's been great.
She's been great.
It's pretty much out of the gate.
But I'm saying, even if you want to say, "Hey, we didn't know," okay, the eyes on the game, eyes on the game, and the possibility was worth it.
Yeah.
The fact that, to your point, I'm glad that she's at least admitting that she should be on the team, but she's not telling the real truth.
The truth is, she should have seen it, and she held back.
Y'all shit the bed.
You did it for a reason. Believe they're not going to tell you the reason. They're never going to tell you the truth because it's going to expose them for how petty they are. They'll never tell you the fucking truth. I've heard 2 gross lies about this already. I'm not going to listen to a third.
Gross.
Or just gross lies. Just Donald Trump level lies. That if I close my eyes and I heard that, I'd be like, oh, Donald Trump said that.
It is Trumpish.
It's Trumpish. That's how bad the lies about Caitlin Clark, not why she's not on this team. That's how bad they were.
Well, because here's why it does feel a little Trumpish. Because
a little.
Because as well,
a little.
I mean, come on. I don't want to paint Dawn Staley out as Donald Trump because that's not the case.
Jen Rizzuti.
But this is Trumpish in that, like, so you guys made the mistake, right? You didn't put her on it, even when it was so obvious to put her on it.
So fucking obvious.
But then after she becomes like the Pistol Pete of your fucking league, she just decides to be Pete Maravich.
No, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Yes,
Johnson.
And
or John Stockton.
All the great assist men combined. She decides to be that.
She is the best. She's the best point guard in the league.
Then she goes to the All-Star game, and plays a pure point guard game in the All-Star game. And you say, well, if we'd had to do it all over again, we'd consider her. If you had just come out and said we should have picked her.
Yeah.
Then you could at least on some level go, okay.
And if Diana Taurasi had one brain cell between her ears, if she had stepped down,
number 6.
Bullshit, she doesn't need number 6. She's the all-time leader. She doesn't need number 6. What she needed to do was pay it forward and promote the women's game. And what she would have been the story had she stepped down and said, she's taking my spot. And she has the kind of power in that league where she could have done it. And the world would have loved her. She doesn't get it. She'd rather get one more fucking medal that the whole world knows she's going to get. She can show up drunk and they're going to win. It's not going to matter. Okay? The point is, you're trying to promote the game. Caitlin Clark is the draw. And if you want to do your game a favor that did so much for you, Diana, that would have been the thing to do. And not only would it not have diminished your reputation, it would have enhanced it. Because you are good enough to be on this team. I'm not saying you're not, but to do that.
At 42 years old, Diana Taurasi is pretty damn amazing.
She's beyond amazing.
I mean,
she's Tom Brady of the women's basketball. She still plays well.
She moves like a
She's the Tom Brady of women's basketball. And but again, she's not Tom Brady because that's something Brady would have done.
Why isn't there another player that could fall in that sword too? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you why it had to be her. Because she's the one who started it.
Started the talk.
All the talk about Caitlin. That would have been, if she did that, do you know what that, she'll never understand this. She probably cost herself $1 billion in endorsements because honestly, had she done that, every fucking anything would have grabbed her for like you read about.
That would have been a good part of the movie.
Oh, if she
that
did
would have
that,
been a good part of the movie.
That would have been like the greatest ending ever to a movie.
Maybe we make that movie.
Yeah, sorry, real life, the fucking bitch.
No, seriously, what if we make that movie?
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Now we don't use like names, so it's kind of like
the name.
Baitlin Bark.
Just say based on a true story.
Baitlin Bark and
based on a true story. We'll let you figure it out.
She's going against Sienna Barazzi. Here comes Baitlin Bark.
We should be good at this. We fuck names up all the time. It's one of our few redeeming qualities.
Yeah, so I guess we have to come up with those funny nicknames for them.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
That's why we have Yoda and Betty and Joe Boo and everybody in the hizzy. We have a great brain trust. We just do.
I mean, Feet Finkelstein happened last
week.
Feet
Finkelstein, boom, just like that.
Bang.
Yeah, they got a franchise player on the girls' soccer team. By the way, shout out to Penn Dog. Penny Izzo. Magic Johnson in soccer cleats. Fucking looks to the right, kicks over off the outside of her left foot, right off the foot, goal. Best pass of the fucking day.
Wasn't a nice assist.
Caitlin Clarkish, dare I say. And Penny just did it like it was nothing. She came down, she kind of juked right, and then on her left foot, pop, hits her right on the toe as she's coming. Bam! Like, do you realize how quick? Because the thing is, like, you don't really appreciate that unless you're an athlete. Like, you know how hard that was to do? And those two kids just made it look easy? Like, holy shit. Like, I mean, pass, assist, dime of the weekend. That was the dime of the weekend.
Dime of the night.
That was the dime of the weekend.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's funny watching her because she's always falling off. She kind of scares me sometimes because she's a little fearless.
She plays with reckless abandonment.
She does.
She's Larry Joe Birdish, dare I say.
Yeah, but
reckless abandonment.
She's not under control as much as Larry Joe.
No, but she's young.
Me, yeah.
She's younger.
But I love the toughness. I mean,
she's awesome.
Penn Dog. Banged her head on the freaking
Penny is
wall.
the definition of a dog. She's a dog. She's a dog.
Penny.
Doesn't matter how big you are, she's going right at you. Don't care.
Yeah.
You bounce her up, bounces right back. Like Wes Welker.
She's like built like a little linebacker. Like,
she kind of is.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, kudos to her. Anyway, back to this Tatum thing.
We've done 33 minutes on
We're going to take a break in a second, but the last I want to leave you with this. Steve Kerr, you are officially the donkey of the decade. Okay, not the year of the decade. Okay, the only thing you could do right now is fire yourself. Because no matter what you do now, because by the way, if you start a next game and he plays 31 minutes, just improve and he goes off, which you will.
That's dumb.
You'll just look like make you look like the biggest idiot on earth. You know, that's not going to help you. You fucked this six-way. The best thing you can do is step down. Okay, but that won't happen.
If he plays 31 minutes next game and he's great, then do you do that in the game after that?
No, he doesn't. The thing is, there's not a guy on that team that needs to play 31 minutes. Right. That's the problem. Okay, and I don't think they all did. I think LeBron played 27, and I mean, but there's no way.
But here's the thing. Look,
there's no reason.
You got to look at the matchups.
There's no reason. That is such a line of shit. That is the biggest line of shit. That is a stack of shit.
Dude.
The size of the fucking Appalachian Mountains.
Dude, with the South Sudan coming in, I mean, you never know what the matchups say.
Please, if they play man-to-man against this team and Tatum's on the floor, oh, good God, look out. Look out.
South Sudan smacked around Puerto Rico. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, they're gone. Puerto Rico's back. they'll be lucky if they win a game.
They got my guy Alvarado on there.
Yeah, he's good, but he's I think their best player. I think he is actually.
I'm trying to think of their guys. They got a few NBAers, right?
I think they have one or two. I don't know.
Well, it's Alvarado for sure.
But this is the thing, and this is where I laugh about. This is the thing. People trying to compare this team to the Dream Team. Oh, there were only 9 pros back then, and there were 68 now. I'm like, yeah, but of the 68, like 63 of them are bench players. They're not all-stars. There's 3. We're talking about Giannis. We're talking about fucking Jokic and one other, Wimbiana, and maybe Gobert. 4 of this 68 are actually like they're studs. The other 64 are bench warmers. Who gives a fuck?
Not about bench warmers. Like Bogdanovich, 20-point scorer.
He's decent. He's not an all-star though.
No.
He's not a good. He's not. You wouldn't
but
pick him.
But these guys are better than a lot of what the Dream Team saw, right?
No.
Yes.
No.
Dude, those teams were awful.
If I put the Dream Team up against this team today, they'd have beat them by 50.
I'm not saying.
They would have beat that team by 50.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing the competition they played against.
Isn't as good, but it wouldn't have mattered.
No, I'm not saying it would have.
Like they still would have won. But I'll tell you why, because they played the game better, and they didn't care about minutes, and they didn't care about showcasing one guy or the other. They just were like, we're going to destroy everything in our path, and they did. And they weren't all in their prime when they did that.
Right,
what
they
if
were old.
I keep saying it? You know, I will take Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan at 28 over anybody in the history of this sport. Because you know what happened at 28? All 3 of them won the league MVP. All 3 of them at that age won the league MVP when they were 28. That's a fact, by the way. You can look it up. Okay. So the thing is, those 3 guys at 28 would destroy any threesome you want to throw up at them. Because Bird's back didn't bother him yet. He could play inside out his path.
God, why can't we do this? I wish we could do this.
I wish we could do it. Okay? But the thing is, for anyone to sit there and say that, didn't see the Dream Team, didn't see those guys play, I mean, you just don't get it. You just don't fucking get it. I mean,
do you ever think they'll create some sort of simulation that allows us to and I'm not talking like a Madden level, because Madden simulates football games and shit like that.
They try to do Dynasty all the time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But imagine if they could create some sort of AI simulation where we could watch something like that and it would feel real.
But it wouldn't be.
I know. But imagine if the AI simulation was so real, some immersive experience, and it felt like you were really watching them go at it. That'd be amazing.
I would love to see it, but it's never going to happen. It's not possible. But the point is... I'm
trying to think of...
And by the way, Jayson Tatum also, again, handled this like a champ.
What did he say?
He said, he answered the question. He didn't flinch. He didn't make it. He didn't cry. Steve Kerr said he handled it like a champ, like he always does. He'll be out there, like he said, he didn't cry about it. Jayson Tatum will not make waves. He'll do that's what he does. He'll toe the line. He won't.
What did he say in the interview?
Just that the matchups went a certain way. We had guys that were hot, and if a guy's hot, you keep him out there. He's referring to Durant, obviously, and stuff like that. But he could have played any position. He said Durant to make it look obvious, but that doesn't mean he couldn't have played any of the other positions, because he could have. Because you could say, well, what about Embiid? He looked like dog shit. You couldn't have played the 5 for half. Yes, you could have.
Booker didn't do anything.
He had 12 points. He had 3
12.
threes.
Okay.
Had 12. Holiday had 50. Holiday played great. But the thing is, like
Derek White played.
He played good, but he didn't play a lot of minutes. He played like 10 minutes, but he played more than Tatum. And he shouldn't have. So the thing is, I will argue he's the best player in the world. I hope that he gets mad, actually gets mad and goes scorched earth, because I think then you'll really see what he's capable of. The thing is, he loves Kobe Bryant. At some point, when's he going to get Kobe Bryant's mentality? Because I know what Kobe Bryant would do if this happened. I know what he would do. Okay? He would fuck all of you.
Well, I wonder if Brad Stevens could help him harness that. Maybe he needs somebody like a coach or, a mentor to kind of say, hey, as you're getting older, you've won a championship. You need to start looking around for motivation sometimes. Boom.
Remember when Vader finally got angry? Like in the Revenge of the Sith, when the guy challenged him, he goes, you have this, you have anger, but you don't use it. And then he fucking looks at him and fucking snaps. And within 2 seconds, he took his head off. And it was Count Dooku, by the way. This was no fucking slouch. Okay, he took him out. And he made it look easy. He just got mad. That's what Tatum could fucking do, literally. And I hope that Brad Stevens or Missoula goes, you want to do something about this?
Right. That's what I mean. Maybe somebody like that just needs to kind of remind
You want
them.
to stick it up their ass? Win it, go back to back.
Yeah.
When they say it can't be done. Because right now they're saying this league is not set up for this to happen. It can't be done. Some people derail it. Just throw that. If I were them, that's what I would say to him. And Jaylen Brown. Well,
Right.
snubbed.
Well, you could really do it for the whole team.
You can. Yeah. They had an easy road.
They
played all, and nobody played was healthy except for Dallas, and Dallas was, of course, everybody picked Dallas.
Yeah.
You can't turn around and say that now, but they will. They'll flip it. So the thing is, like,
that could easily be a theme for them in terms of like building that momentum for that second chip.
I hope, and I have no proof. I'm gonna leave it the same with this. The last time I said this, Jayson Tatum, if you ever, wherever you are, I hope that in that moment when the camera went on you at the end of that game and you were playing, that was going through your head was, I'm going to kick everyone's ass in this league next year. I hope
when he was just sitting there
with that look on his face, he looked mad.
Yeah.
And I was praying, please tell me that's what's going through his head right now. Because if it is, the NBA is in a lot of trouble. Because there's no one that can stop him.
I did see a couple posts like that.
Yeah, if he gets mad, no one's ever seen him mad. I was like, what would he look like if he was mad? Anyway, that's going to do it for segment. We'll come back to segment 2. We're going to talk bum blastings abound on the East Coast. The Mets, the Sox, everybody. I mean, tell you what, teams got bent over like you read about tonight.
There are some football scores tonight.
Yeah,
folks.
there was some. Yeah, the East Coast was not a pretty sight tonight. Was not. So we'll talk about that segment 2 coming right up.
3 games, 14 runs for one team or more.